남자들은 탐탐탐 내 입술 냠냠냠 어디 가도 탕탕탕 등장은 짠짠짠 띠자 팡팡팡 디스코 팡팡팡 헬로 엉덩이 빵빵빵 남자들은 탐탐탐 내 입술 냠냠냠 어디 가도 탕탕탕 등장은 짠짠짠
Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 6 are going to present about false marketing. So, what is it? Let's talk about false marketing. This happens when businesses use misleading or inaccurate information in their advertisements to trick customers. For examples, they might exaggerate a product, features, benefits, or even price. Things that can influence a buyer's decision. These tactics create false expectations and might lead customers to make purchase under false pretense. False advertising usually falls into two categories. Either the information is completely wrong or it's intentionally misleading. In case 1, AirAsia and misleading ticket prices. In the first article, it's about AirAsia and AirAsia X. Both airlines were fined 160,000 ringgit by MAVCOM, which is Malaysian Aviation Commission, for violating the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code 2016, which is MACPC. What did they do? They failed to display ticket prices that included all taxes, fees, and hidden charges in their advertisements. This made the price look cheaper than they actually were. It is definitely misleading for customers. MAVCOM emphasized that fair and transparent pricing is essential to protect consumers and maintain trust in the aviation industry. They also reminded all airlines to follow the rules and avoid using such deceptive tactics. The goal here is simple: ensure fairness in advertising while protecting passengers' rights. Case 2 is about halal misrepresentation by companies. The second article highlights JAKIM's action against companies misleading consumers about their halal certification. Businesses found guilty of this can face fines of up to 5 million ringgit under the Trade Descriptions Halal Definition Order 2011. This law ensures companies are honest about their halal claims, especially for Muslim consumers. But wait, it doesn't stop there. If someone makes false halal claims, they could face a fine of up to 1 million ringgit or even 3 years in prison. The purpose? To maintain consumer confidence in halal products and hold businesses accountable for their claims. In short, whether it's airline ticket pricing or halal certification, transparency and honesty in marketing are non-negotiable. It's all about protecting consumers and keeping trust intact.
Next, we're moving on to parties involved. False marketing is a major problem in Malaysia as companies use dishonest. So, for the first article is AISHAH Berhad and AISHAH X Berhad. And the first parties is, of course, AISHAH Berhad and AISHAH X Berhad itself. This party was mislead customer when they offered partial tickets and that omitted necessary expenses like taxes and levies. This violated the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code 2016 MACPC, which mandates transparency in ticket pricing. As a result, the airlines were fined and their brand was damaged, underscoring the need of following ethical and legal marketing standards in the aviation industry. Next is Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM. In order to enforce the MACPC, the Aviation Authority, MAVCOM, looked into and discovered that AISHAH and AISHAH X were engaging in fraudulent pricing. This action demonstrates MAVCOM's dedication to protecting consumers and maintaining fair competition. The fines serve as a warning to other airlines to respect openness and follow advertising regulations. Lastly is consumer. AirAsia and AirAsia X false pricing had a direct impact on customers because taxes and surcharge were not disclosed until late in the reservation process. This lack of transparency harmed the airline's image and resulted in financial hardship, which may impact future purchases. For the next article is JAKIM advertising, and the first parties involved is JAKIM itself, Department of Islamic Development Malaysia. It plays a crucial part in overseeing Malaysia halal certification procedure. JAKIM, the principal regulator, oversees making sure that all companies who offer halal goods follow the dietary regulation of Islam. Food, cosmetic, and other consumer goods are certified halal by the department. The second parties involved is companies. Companies misleading consumer about halal certification now face fine up to RM5 million under new regulation. JAKIM is targeting industry like food, cosmetic, and pharmaceuticals to ensure proper certification and transparency, safeguarding trust in halal practices. The lastly is consumers. The majority of those affected are Muslims. In a country like Malaysia, where a significant portion of the population follows Islamic principles, halal certification is both a religious need and a quality indicator. To ensure that the food, beverages, and cosmetic they use are consistent with their religious belief, customers rely on halal certification.
Now, I will present the section on reason behind the issue, focusing on the challenges involving AISHAH, AASH, and JAKIM advertising. We will explore the contributing factors behind this issue and their impact on the consumers and the industry. Based on the Article 1, the first factor is the use of unfair tactics to gain a competitive advantage. AISHAH and AASH promoted cheap tickets to attract customers, but this ticket did not include extra charges. Customers only found out about these hidden fees later during the booking process. This trick made the airlines look cheaper than their competitors, but it was dishonest. It also hurt companies that follow honest advertising rules. In the long run, this kind of behaviors make customers lose their trust in airlines and the industry as a whole. The second issue is reinforcement and monitoring. Organizations like MAFCOM were slow to take action against AISHAH and AASH breaking rules, such as the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code. Because the authorities did not act quickly, the airlines continued to mislead customers for a long time. This shows a weakness in the system, where companies can get away with dishonest practice and benefit unfairly. Stronger enforcement is needed to prevent companies from exploiting such loopholes. According to the Article 2, JAKIM advertising, the third factor is misleading advertisement about halal certification. Some companies claim their product were halal or use words like halal friendly without a proper certification. This causes confusion, especially for Muslim customers who trust halal labels when making purchases. Companies that misuse halal symbols are taking advantage of this trust. This not only mislead customers but also damage the reputation of halal certified products. The last factor is the lack of customer awareness. Many customers don't know the rules of procedure for halal certification. They may not understand which organizations like JAKIM are responsible for checking if a product is truly halal. This lack of knowledge makes it easier for companies to treat customers with false claims. For example, phrases like halal friendly can mislead customers into thinking a product is certified when it is not. Customers need better education about this matter to avoid being misled. In conclusion, these issues are caused by unethical action, weak enforcement, false advertising, and low customer awareness. To solve this problem, all parties need to work together. Companies should be honest in their practices. Authorities must act faster and stricter to stop unfair practices. Finally, customers need more knowledge to make informed choices. When everyone plays their part, we can create a fairer and more trustworthy market. According to Chapter 4 ADM351, administrator may address such conflict by ensuring regulation and oversight mechanism prioritize public welfare over personal or corporate gains. So, the enforcement by action by JAKIM demonstrates their role in addressing unethical practices, holding business accountable, and protecting consumer rights, particularly for Muslim consumers who rely on halal certification for compliance with religious obligations. Lastly, Chapter 7 emphasizes the role of ethical leadership and cultivating and organization culture that prioritize integrity. Companies involved in halal certification should lead by example, ensuring their practices align with ethical standards. When businesses compromise on ethics, as highlighted in the article, it reflects a lack of ethical leadership and a disregard for society value. Jakim's actions serve as a reminder that ethical misconduct can have several consequences, including loss of consumer trust and legal penalties.
So, what are the relevant chapters in ADM351? For the first chapter is chapter 3 on Islamic ethics. It is not the primary focus, but it offers insight into the values of honesty, fairness, and social responsibility. The airline's deceptive pricing methods conflict with this principle, emphasizing the need for ethical practices aligned with both universal and Islamic values. And the second chapter is chapter 5. It highlights the AISHAH and AISHAH case, underscoring the importance of business ethics. The airlines breach ethical norms by omitting taxes and fees from airfare, undermining customer trust and corporate accountability. Ethical businesses prioritize fairness and long-term stakeholder interests to build credibility and achieve sustainable success.
Today, I would like to highlight the potential impact if society fails to address this issue seriously. These effects will resonate across key stakeholders, the government, industry, and consumer. First, let's talk about the government. One critical agency is JAKIM, the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia. JAKIM plays a vital role in ensuring that all products consumed by Muslims comply with halal standards. If this issue is neglected, JAKIM will face increased workload pressure. They will need to spend more resources on public awareness campaigns, which could be costly. Furthermore, their reputation as a global leader in halal certification could be questioned if companies fail to adhere to regulations. Similarly, bodies like the Malaysian Aviation Commission or MAFCON would also face challenges. As society demands better service and stricter audits, MAFCON might need to intensify oversight, especially if airline companies fail to meet standards. While this action builds trust, they'll also add to their operational burden. Next, the industry. Companies like AISHAH have already faced penalty up to 160,000 ringgit for misleading advertisement about ticket pricing. Such incidents damage their reputation and erode customer trust. Rebuilding their trust takes time, effort, and additional costs. Additionally, after JAKIM intervention, other businesses must invest more in staff training, obtaining halal certification, and sourcing halal ingredients to compete effectively in the market. This creates financial and operational strain, especially for smaller players. Lastly, we must focus on the buyers and consumers. When consumers feel deceived by false advertising or poor practices, it creates a ripple effect. They lose trust in brands, become hesitant to use certain products, and share their frustration on social media. This not only deters new customers but also damages the company's reputation long term. Trust and loyalty are hard to regain, and companies must ensure they meet expectations to avoid customer dissatisfaction. In conclusion, the effects of ignoring this issue are far-reaching. Government agencies will face credibility challenges, industry will endure financial and reputational losses, and consumers will experience frustration and mistrust. Therefore, it is crucial for all parties to address this issue collectively and seriously.
So, what are the relevant chapters in ADM351? For the first chapter is chapter 3 on Islamic ethics. It is not the primary focus, but it offers insight into the values of honesty, fairness, and social responsibility. The airline's deceptive pricing methods conflict with this principle, emphasizing the need for ethical practices aligned with both universal and Islamic values. And the second chapter is chapter 5. It highlights the AISHAH and AISHAH case, underscoring the importance of business ethics. The airlines breach ethical norms by omitting taxes and fees from airfare, undermining customer trust and corporate accountability. Ethical businesses prioritize fairness and long-term stakeholder interests to build credibility and achieve sustainable success.
Next, I will present 3 key recommendations to address this issue and ensure a more effective and transparent system for consumer, organization, and the government. First, let's focus on consumer awareness. Educating the public through campaign is crucial. This campaign can teach people how to identify misleading advertisement and make informed decisions about the product they consume. By building this awareness, consumers can avoid being deceived and stay vigilant. It is also essential to gather feedback from the public after this campaign. Platforms like Google Forms or social media posts can be used to assess their effectiveness in a user-friendly way. If awareness level remains low, stricter measures such as penalties may need to be enforced to drive the message home. Second, JAKIM need to strengthen the halal certification process. JAKIM play a critical role in ensuring that halal standards are met, but the process can be made more efficient and transparent. For example, introducing QR codes on products can give consumers quick access to detailed information about their halal status. While JAKIM currently provides information through its website, a dedicated mobile app could make the process even more accessible. The app should be user-friendly, free of disruptive ads, and visually appealing to encourage downloads. This use of technology would enhance trust and make it easier to consumers to verify halal compliance in real time. Lastly, the employee training. Employees, especially those involved in marketing and advertising, must be trained to comply with regulations set by bodies like the Ministry of Health Malaysia. This ensures that promotional materials are accurate and not misleading. Regular training sessions, whether monthly or annually, can keep employees updated on the latest rules and best practices. While training may involve costs, it's a worldwide investment. Companies can save significant amounts by avoiding fine and reputational damage caused by misleading advertisement. In conclusion, by increasing consumer awareness, enhancing the halal certification process, and investing in employee training, we can create a system that fosters trust, accountability, and transparency. This step will benefit not only consumers but also the organization and governing bodies involved.
In conclusion, the issue of false marketing highlighted in both articles reveals the damaging effect of deceptive advertising on businesses, consumers, and overall trust. Fraudulent marketing might seem like a shortcut for businesses to boost sales in the short term, but in the long term, consequences can be severe and far-reaching. For instance, in the case of AISHAH, misleading ticket prices gave customers false expectations, and this led to legal action and hefty fines. Not only did the company face financial repercussions, but such actions also risk damaging its reputation and eroding customers' trust. In an industry as competitive as aviation, trust and transparency are essential for retaining loyal customers. Similarly, in the case of halal misrepresentation, providing false or misleading information about halal status directly exploits the trust of Muslim consumers, undermining both the ethical standards and credibility of businesses involved. Today, consumers are more informed and skeptical than ever. With easy access to information online, they are quick to identify and call out companies that use dishonest tactics. This heightened awareness means that any false claims, exaggerate promises, or hidden charges can quickly spread and result in public backlash, lawsuits, or loss of consumer loyalty. Trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to rebuild. From an ethical standpoint, these cases highlight a clear violation of honesty, fairness, and integrity. Businesses engaging in deceptive practices not only harm their customers but also undermine the industry as a whole. Misleading advertisements manipulate consumers' beliefs, choice, and expectations, which is not only unethical but also unsustainable. To move forward, businesses must recognize that ethical marketing is not optional, it's essential. Transparency, honesty, and respect for customers should always be the foundation of any marketing strategy. Ethical advertising requires businesses to provide clear, accurate, and complete information, allowing customers to make informed decisions. By prioritizing ethical practices, companies can foster long-term trust, enhance their reputation, and create a sustainable relationship with their audience. In the end, the real success of a business is not measured by short-term profits, but by the trust and loyalty it builds with its customers over time. That's all from me. Thank you.